So here's my final attempt. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Road to the Meet. This is episode 17, and it's going to be my recap video of my first meet. We finally made it to the point of actually looking at the clips, so I'm so excited to share with you guys how it went. Even share with Ani some of the clips that he hasn't seen yet.
I'm excited.
Yep. So I'll kick it off with how I felt going into the meet the morning of. I was definitely like super anxious. I had like no appetite. I felt kind of like nauseous almost. So I tried to get down like an apple, a couple snacks, and I got to the gym around 8 a.m. Where they gave us kind of like a lecture on powerlifting, mainly for this federation, the APF, their rules, how to perform the lifts and everything like that, which was like really helpful. And I feel like it was great for like newer lifters. A lot of the stuff I had already known. Some of the stuff was specific to this federation in terms of their rules. That might have been a little bit different from the USAPL. For like example, you don't need your feet completely planted on the ground for bench. You can have your heels up. So that was like a difference. And there was no start command for bench. So there's little things I picked up for this federation that were very helpful that I didn't even know about going in. So that was great. And the guy who was running it, Eric Stone, he's the owner of the gym and he's the head chairman for this federation in Illinois. He was a great guy. I really appreciated the whole event that he had set up. It was an introduction to powerlifting meet, so everyone there, it was their first meet. And I feel like it was a great way to get people, acclimated to the sport. And I feel like every federation should do this, even the USAPL and everything, to bring in some newer lifters and kind of encourage people if they're, worried about getting into it. It's kind of like an easy stepping stone, get your feet wet. But in terms of actually how the meet went, I can start going into the attempts. So we started off with squats, obviously. And for my first attempt, I had it, set. I did 162.5 kilograms or 358 pounds. So I'm going to play this here for Ani and I. I was super nervous going into the squat attempts. And I had a lot of friends there. I had like 10 plus friends. So just having all my friends around, I was, pretty nervous. Squats are first. So, I just wanted to get it done with. Like I was super scared. And the first attempt flew, which I was really happy about. I don't know if Ani, if you thought that looked good for a first attempt.
Yeah, very fast.
Yeah. So like that made me that made me feel really confident after that. Like obviously I was still scared for my following attempts, but like a little bit nervous, but just getting that first one underway and, getting 3 white lights and knowing, okay, I can perform the lift. Like, I'm hitting depth, things like that. It made me feel a lot better. And then, for my second attempt, I was like, okay, I'm going to bump this up a good amount. I went for 172.5 kilos or 380 pounds. I might have even I probably should have bumped this up in hindsight to probably 386, which was like the top end of my second attempt range that my coach gave me. But I was playing conservative to start because, I didn't know how exactly I was feeling. Like the first one flew, but, it still felt kind of heavy. Like I was very nervous. So I started off a little slow. And so here, I'll show it.
This is the most you hit in training, right? This was the last single before meet, right?
Yeah, this matches my heaviest single, or basically my heaviest one rep I've ever done on squats, right at the end of my peak. And
that was great.
I feel like
it moved way faster than last week.
Yeah, it moved way faster. I think I was so fatigued last week, and it really shows with that attempt.
That deload did you good then.
Yeah, I think the deload really helped. Like I felt really on point this day, and even with like not great nutrition, like I didn't want to say it to like my coach and everything, but I didn't eat very much this day. I weighed in myself, like I weighed myself at home. I was 182, I think, and a half pounds in the morning. I got back from the meet and I weighed myself again just out of curiosity because I was starving. I was like a little dehydrated, even though I felt like I was drinking liquids throughout the day, like heavily. But I weighed myself again, and I was 180 pounds.
Oh my God.
So I lost like 2 pounds,
Bro.
maybe even more, 2+ pounds throughout the day. So I mean, that just goes to show how little food I had in me. I just couldn't get anything down. Like I had a bagel with peanut butter and a few other snacks. But my friends went to Buffalo Wild Wings in the middle of the meet because there's a big break talking about like more lectured stuff. So they gave us like a lunch break and they gave us a little bit more talking to. And my friends left to go get food and they got Buffalo Wild Wings. So I had them give me a couple wings. I couldn't even eat them. Like I just left them. It was
Were you
bad,
just not
but
hungry, or were the nerves getting to you, or you're supposed to be refeeding, Dom? You're supposed to be filling out the glycogen, man.
I know. I had like 2 bananas, an apple, a bunch of carbs and stuff. But I didn't have like a big heavy meal. Like I wanted to get a big breakfast in, and I was planning on doing like a bagel with avocado and eggs in the morning. And literally the thought of food was like disgusting to me. I was like, I can't. That's how I get. I'm just like this in general, even for big exams, stuff like that. I can never eat right before. I get very nervous and I get almost nauseous. So all I could eat in the morning was an apple until a few hours later, and then right before the meet I had a few other snacks, and obviously I was hydrating. But so then for my final attempt I did 182.5 kilos. So this was the heaviest my coach had me for my third attempt, because I was like, damn, that second attempt moved. All my friends were telling me to send it. My friends wanted me to hit, like, all my friends are like average gym goers. They wanted me to hit 405 pounds. Obviously I can't say 405 pounds. It had to be in 2.5 kilo increments. But so I was like, they wanted me to go even heavier than this, but so I'll play that.
This is 401, 403,
402.2.
Okay. You could kind of call that 405.
Yeah, if you round up a little. Yeah. And yeah, this one, I don't know what you think, Ani. I feel like I had a few pounds left.
Yeah, I would call that like a 9, honestly.
Yeah.
And my favorite part about this is, like, on all your squat attempts, I know we talked about this off air, but like as soon as the dude gives you the down command, you go. You don't like settle, you don't like set your feet and find your brace. You're just like, down, okay, I'm going right now.
The thing for me was, like, when I walk out, like, if you look at the clip here, I'll run it back a little. So when I walk out, as I'm looking down at the ground, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, okay, little steps, because I can't take too many steps on the platform. I'm bracing, and as soon as I'm ready, I look up. And then, so that, like, at that point, I'm ready to go as soon as he gives me the command.
Okay.
So that's why it's instant. And obviously, I have heavy weight on my back. I'm trying to get that shit off.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, I mean, I'm happy with that, man. Like, obviously, it's the top end of what my coach had instructed for me. So, I mean, I can't really complain. Obviously, probably had a few pounds left in there. But for the first, lift of the day, I didn't want to go balls to the walls and just, be super fatigued the rest of the day. So I felt like very good after this one. And I felt all my nerves kind of go away after that last attempt.
Yeah, they say after you hit that squat, you're pretty much ready to go.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. I think it's I still think you probably could have had 185 low key, but I mean, it was good. You're in a 400 squat, so that's double body weight, more than double body weight now. So I mean, I guess you've been there for a while.
A big milestone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good shit, bro.
So, yeah. So squats, great. PR'd by 22 pounds. Awesome. Felt great after that. All my friends were congratulating me. So then after squats, we had a big break. All my friends had left to go get lunch, like I was saying. And we just hung around for a little bit, waited for the girls because they put us into 2 flights. It was just girls and guys. So we were waiting for the girls to go. Then it was on to bench, a few hours later. And I didn't get a clip of my first attempt on bench because my friends were still coming in from food and everything. But I hit 100 kilos or 221 pounds. And I mean, it was super easy. I'm not, I don't really, it's not a big deal that I didn't get footage on this one because honestly, it wasn't that interesting.
I mean, we've seen
you Sorry.
I was just gonna say we've seen you hit 2 plates like a million times on your meet prep, so it's
right.
I think it's pretty obvious that was Easy.
The only thing I will say is, I knew this going into the bench press, but they don't give you like a start command.
That's interesting.
It's just, yeah. So it's just you unrack it and you're good to go. And that I wasn't expecting because I knew USAPL rules. Like I knew they have to give you a start command or whatever, and then they tell you to press after. So I was kind of going into that first attempt. I kind of had forgotten about it, even though I knew it, but it's nerves. Like you forget some things. So when I unracked the weight for my first attempt, I held it there for like a couple seconds. Yeah. Like not like a couple seconds, but like it felt like it. So that was something to note. Like in the first one, I'm like, okay, they're not giving me a start command. Just remember that for the second attempt. And I didn't make the mistake a second time. So I'll show my second attempt here. So I had.
I've never seen this.
So yeah, I don't think I sent this to you yet. So this one is 107.5 kilos or 236 pounds. So this is at the top end of what I could do for my second attempt, per my coach. So, I was feeling really good after that first attempt. And honestly, I don't know what it was with the bench. It felt like maybe a little bit lower to the ground or something, but it felt really good. Like my, my arch felt good. I didn't feel like my butt was leaving. Like I've had issues in the, previous weeks. So yeah, I feel like that kind of moved pretty well.
Okay.
Can you see that? Yeah.
You said it was 236, right?
Yeah, 236.
And
I felt like that. Sorry, what'd you say?
I was going to say, is your grip the normal width? Because it looks kind of a little more narrow than I feel like you've had before.
Yeah, and maybe it is like slightly more narrow. I just put it on the ring, my pinky's on the rings like I usually do.
Okay.
So if the bar is different, from what I'm training on, there could be some difference there. Obviously, maybe like I probably should have checked out the bar beforehand. Maybe do some measurement, like just to see.
Cover tape.
I don't know, because it's like I didn't know the exact bar. Right. Like I don't think I had the bar in like at my gym that I could use. The exact one that they were using. So, it's hard to tell. It felt normal when I was putting my hand on there, so I didn't think anything of it. And the presses moved, so I didn't notice until you just said that. I didn't really think about it. And yeah, it does kind of look a little narrow. Maybe it's like a finger length or two at most.
Well, it moved really, really fast. So for 236, yeah. I know that you've been kind of what's the word? You're kind of uneasy about your bench strength, but like that honestly kind of moved like maybe an opener type of situation. So that's very good.
Yeah, I felt really good about that one. So at that point, okay, I'm like, that second attempt moved. Squats are done at this point, obviously. So I'm like, okay, bench, I'm not going to get that much weight out of bench. I might as well go for a big PR here. I might as well go to the maximum I think I can get. And so I made the decision to go to 115 kilos. So that's, 253.5 pounds. And for me, I hit 245 in training. It wasn't that fast. It felt pretty heavy. My butt came off the bench. I remember. So I was like going into this meet, I was like 245 is probably the most I'll get around there. But I just felt so good. I'm like, okay, I gotta go for 253 here. I'm probably gonna miss it, but it's definitely worth attempting.
Let's see this.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was pretty maximal of an attempt, I'd say. Like maybe another pound or two in the tank. Nothing. Yeah. I think it was a good attempt selection, just off gut feeling for myself.
I was gonna say you might have been able to chip that maybe, but yeah, that was
another 5 pounds would be tough though for me. I don't know if I would have gotten it. Like a couple pounds maybe, but a full 5, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so that for a pause rep, big PR. I hit 245 with my butt off the bench in training, so I'll count that as like an 8-pound PR, even more kind of, with actual officiating and everything. And the most I've hit touch and go was 260, So I'm only like 7 pounds below my best touch and go press I've ever done. So I'm like right around like peak pressing strength, I'd
Was
say.
that what you said?
Of,
That
like,
was
my whole life.
253.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because I looked at the bar, like that. It's a red, a yellow, and a black with a clip. Is that?
Maybe they misloaded it. I'll have to double check on that one. So asterisk may not be 253.
We'll still count it. We'll still count it.
We'll count it.
I remember you were like, "Oh, bro, I don't think I could hit more than 247 or 248 last week."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Bro, you got it. You got it." Now you're a 250 pound bencher in comp.
Exactly. Yep. So I mean, I was really happy with that one. Yeah. So then girls went again, and they did their deadlifts, and I was really hyped going into deadlifts because I'm like, okay, I'm 6 for 6 at this point, and deadlifts are like my favorite lift to perform, and like I felt like I had a lot there. So I'm like, okay, I'm definitely gonna like send it and hit some heavy weights here. This is the one for me that I was like, okay, I'm at the end of the lift. My coach said if I really want to, like deadlifts, I could send it. So I'm like, say less. Obviously, I started out with what was prescribed with the opener. I did 192 and a half kilos or 425 pounds, and I feel like this was like too easy, you know.
It's not what I haven't seen. Oh man, you ripped that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, at this point, all my friends are like telling me, dude, you gotta, because I had told them going in, I'm like, I'm looking around like 470 maybe for my final attempt. They're like, dude, you gotta send it on this one. You're looking really fast. I was going up to my friends after that attempt. I'm like, okay, I told them what I put in because I only had a minute to put in attempts after, which I feel like is pretty standard. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to put in 207 and a half kilos or 457 pounds. And they're like, okay, you should go for 480, 485 after this. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like you're right. I'll see how the second attempt goes though. And so here for my second attempt,
sheesh,
with 457.
All that weight.
I feel like that was pretty fast too.
Can you play that again?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you'd have told me that was your opener, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah. And which is crazy because that's like a 12-pound PR for me, and it was above what the range for my second attempt of what I was supposed to hit. My max was supposed to be 452, and I'm like, no, that first one moved too fast. I'm going 457, and I think that was a good move because it kind of set me up in a position where I'm like, okay, that also moved really good. Now I can really go hard on the third attempt. If I would have undershot in the second attempt, I wouldn't want to make a huge jump on the third, obviously.
Right.
So I probably would have left too much in the tank there. So I'm like, okay, I got to push the second attempt a little bit more so that it gives me more room in the third attempt. And so all my friends are like, dude, that was fast. I had to put my attempt in. I'm like, okay, I'm going 480, 479 and a half, 217 and a half kilos. And I was like, okay, I was a little nervous going into this one, but I was also like, I had so much adrenaline, and I think I had the second highest deadlift. So I was one of the last people going for the whole meet. There's only one guy who pulled more than me. Obviously, it's all new people. I don't have like a crazy impressive deadlift or anything, but it's all first-time lifters. So I was pretty proud of that, to be honest. And everyone was watching, and I feel like hyping me up. I made a lot of friends throughout the meet. Like, shout out all the guys. They're great guys.
I told you, man, that mean environment, it's all hype.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone was cheering each other on. It was a great experience. So here's my final attempt. You can see how close my friends got with this video footage.
No, they were right in your face.
The guys running the meet let them get really close here because I just had so many friends and they're all cheering me on. They thought it was hilarious.
Damn. Hey, run that clip back. I want to see that again.
So kind of a grinder, but it moved.
I mean, only a little bit. Like, I definitely think that towards the top. I definitely think the 220 was there. You might have been able to sneak that one out. Yeah. God damn, bro. That's a fucking good lift.
Yeah, I was super hyped with that one. They're like shaking my hand and shit after that one. I was so excited. Um, yeah, I mean, it's funny because after some of these clips, I could see myself like I don't look that hype, but like internally, I'm freaking out. Like I'm so happy, and yeah. So I mean, that kind of recaps like all the lifts individually. My total was 515 kilos or 1,135 pounds. Maybe an asterisk on the bench. Got to double check on that one. But I was going in looking at like 1,100 as the goal, somewhere around there. Just because looking at all my attempts, I'm like, okay, I think I can do a lot of these heaviest attempt selection my coach had put out for me. I was not expecting to go heavier than that, and I did for bench and for deadlift, and it was just on like gut feeling of like how I felt. I'm like, I could do more than this. I knew it, and it paid off. Went 9 for 9, first meet. It couldn't have really gone any better, honestly, and I love the experience. I really like shout out to the guys at that at 2XL in Lombard, Illinois. They really did well with like running it, and I'd recommend it to any newer lifter. Yeah, I had a great time overall.
Good shit, bro. I remember back in episode 3, I want to say. I love sending that picture to you of when I can't remember if it was like estimated totals. We were talking about like if that was for right now or for that was when the meet was going to happen. But like you put your total at like 10-15 back there. So
yeah.
If that legitimately was your total, that means that in a little bit under 3 months, you added, what is that, 125 pounds or 120 pounds, which is pretty fucking good. Like, damn.
Yeah. I think the best measurement of like the strength increase I've had is just that I've talked about it a few times now, but the 445 deadlift I attempted right like earlier this year, and I basically missed it. I could barely lock it out. I didn't really get it. Versus now I'm hitting 479 clean. Like that's obviously a big jump in strength. It's nothing crazy. Like people, probably put on more pounds to their total a lot faster than that, but it's very measurable, and I'm proud of that. And I mean, squats improved so much over this year. I'm still so new to squats. I think I've only been squatting like a year and a half, maybe a little bit more. So like I probably put a bar on my back years ago, but nothing over a plate, you know what I'm saying? So to get into powerlifting and everything has been just an awesome experience this last year. I don't know, I'm really happy and I'm going to keep pushing forward with this and seeing what I could do moving forward. I definitely want to add a couple 100 pounds to my total at some point, like over the next year or two, if that's possible, keep pushing it. I don't know. I'm excited to see what comes.
Yeah, bro, it's going to be crazy. I mean, and think about it like this, like back to that 445. You pulled that 445, I'm assuming at the end of a program, which you peaked for, right? It was on pounds. And you did it by itself, right? You didn't do anything else that day. Yep. So this, and then this 479 was, obviously also you peaked for it, but it was also during a meet. So it's the last lift that you hit that day after, I'm assuming, kind of like 7 or 8 hours of you kind of just hanging around and lifting, of course, but also like, talking and like listening and standing around. I really don't know about the whole seminar thing, but I'm sure you were there for a long time. And it was on kilos, which is more difficult to lift on. And you still smoked it like it was nothing. So I mean, like, the strength has definitely increased dramatically as well. And you can even look at your bench the same way. Especially after having to deal with all the shoulder stuff that you've been having to deal with this entire meet prep until really like the last month you've had a healthy shoulder, which is awesome.
I honestly kind of felt like I was never going to get to a point of like no shoulder pain. So knock on wood, feeling good today. No issues during the meet. I will say the only like pains / like not injuries, like pains I had during the meet was on the second attempt of bench, I like had like a little spasm in my like left lower side of my lower back, and like it was like a little painful. Like if I bend over and kind of just let my back around, like I could feel it stretching, and it kind of like almost had like a pain to it. So that's why going into the third attempt of bench, I was also a little nervous because I'm like, my back's not feeling 100%. Should I really push it? But I'm like, okay, I gotta do it. It just felt so fast on the second attempt, so I rolled my back out a little bit with a lacrosse ball, just on a wall. Like I just like rubbed it up and down a little bit, and I was like, I'm gonna go for it, and it worked out. But overall, today I feel great. No issues. I'm not injured. I'm barely sore somehow, so that's good. Maybe I'll feel it tomorrow too. But I mean, I can't complain, man. I was happy to get out of there one piece, 9 for 9, like hit some PRs. It was great.
That's awesome, bro. You had a very, very successful meet. 11:34, right? That's your total?
11:35, yeah.
11:35 total for the boy wonder, Dom DG. Fantastic stuff, bro. So yeah, that completes Dom's arc in this episode. Do you want to talk maybe about like what you're planning on doing, or how you feel about? I guess you already said like I'm hype, I'm ready to set some. So I don't know if we want to save that for a different time. You know.
We could talk about it in the future, but at a high level, I'm ready to start building up my base again, push my weight up, get into a higher weight class. Accumulate a lot of volume, get stronger, and come back maybe in a year and compete again. That's what I'm thinking in my head right now. Plans might change, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Sounds good. Next time we're gonna share that platform, homie. I bet. I can't wait. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Dom's Meet Recap once again. Dom, what was let's just, for the viewers and for closure, why don't you go over what you hit and your total really quick?
Hit for each lift?
Yeah, like your final, like your third attempt.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So squats, 402.2 pounds. Bench, 253.5 pounds. Deadlift, 479.5 pounds. Total, 1,135 pounds. 515 kilos. And I weighed in at like 182.6, I think it was, in the morning of the meet. So I feel like it was pretty good for my body weight for first meet. Obviously it's nothing insane, but I'm happy with it. It was great for myself.
Stop it, bro. Stop it. Compared to what you thought you were going to do at the beginning of this series, like, you just blew everything out of the water. So we're all very happy for you, I'm sure. Show some love in the comment section down below. Damn. Originally this series was going to end at this point in time, but we still got one more person that we have to get through, and that's me, because I got a meet coming up about 2 weeks from the time of this recording, exactly. So stick around for that. You can follow that here on this channel, where we'll be talking about my lifts and how I'm going to approach my meet. We'll get my footage in. We'll do this exact same thing then. And you can also follow Dom on his channel. Maybe now that he's done, he'll relax, and then he'll maybe talk about what he's going to do moving forward. You'll see some clips of that on his channel, which will be in the description. You'll also see some clips of that on his TikTok, which you can follow at Natty Lifting. He's already posted some meet footage from there. I'm sure more meet footage is going to come.
For sure.
So if you want to get in tune with that and look forward in his training, once again, TikTok at Natty Lifting for the boy Dom over here. And if you want to follow me on Instagram as I prepare the final stages of this meet prep, you can follow my Instagram at sxbertooth with an X _ or sxbertooth _ on Instagram. Still thinking about a rebrand here. But for now, that's my username. You can follow me. And once again, Dom hit an amazing meet total. 11:35. PR'd on everything, as we all knew that he would. As if there was any doubt. And yeah, man, it's a great time. It's a great meet prep, very successful, and just 2 more weeks of us doing this. So we'll see you guys.
I'm excited to see what you do. It's gonna be awesome. Stick around, guys, if you want to see Ani put up some big numbers.
Oh, we're getting spicy. All right, guys. That's going to conclude this episode, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.